Hello, this is Pastor Rick, and I'm here with the Chair of the Council, Tom Jackson, and you're joining us today for a very special Sunday forum on this Sunday, August the 28th, where we're going to be giving an update about the call committee for our new pastor. Tom, it's great to have you here again on the Sunday forum.
Glad to be here.
Tom, we've got some exciting news, and you've got some exciting news to share about this call committee, which has now been put into place. But before we name any names, tell me about how you're feeling about the process so far.
Well, first of all, I feel very good about it because our council just overwhelmingly approved the 6 people that we have on the call committee. And that's a great step forward, because everybody was on board with the people, okay? The second thing is that this was an opportunity to truly discern. When you think about discernment, I mean, that's careful thinking, that's careful consideration. And believe me, that was the centerpiece of this whole process.
So people know that a call committee, that's an important job that they have. And this is a big step toward that goal, isn't it?
It's huge. This is a very big step because we are trying to replace a very big person and a very big part of Emmanuel Lutheran Church, okay? So therefore, we felt that it would be best if the council officers got together and we started putting some names down. And, you know, we have some key staff people that know some of the ins and outs of this as well as we do, or better probably. And we came up with several names and we prioritized them. And I'm just can't even tell you how pleased I am with the 6 people that we've ended up with.
Tom, I can see how relieved you are that you got those names together.
Yes, I am. But what I'm particularly pleased about is the quality of this call committee. This is, and the other thing is that it was very, very important for us to make sure that all of our communities were represented. And they're represented all right. They sure are.
So, Tom, before you name the names of those who've been selected and approved on the call committee, give us a sense of the process that you and the council have gone through to get us to this point.
Well, a moment ago, I said I used the word discernment, and that really describes what getting this 6 people are all about. But here's the good part. We not only involved the 4 executive members of the council, but we also involved key staff members that know some of these people for longer than many of us do. So that point there is that I guess one of the goals that we have is we want to engage our council members. This was the opportunity for the council members to be engaged. And it took the 4 of us and some staff and some pastors to get this list together so that we would have the 6 best candidates.
So you've been working for weeks behind the scenes, gathering these names from all sorts of different people here at Emmanuel.
Yeah, and it came from our council executive committee to begin with, but then we worked with at least 2 pastors for sure, maybe 3, and we also checked on some other people that know maybe a candidate better than we would, and so or interacted with these people. So I wasn't afraid to ask somebody, what do you think of so-and-so as far as being a member of the call committee? And it really was helpful. It was helpful to me because they may know this person from a venue that I've never been to.
And one of the big challenges I know, Tom, that you share with me is you only get 6 candidates.
Yeah.
But it has to reflect one church, multiple communities, with all the activities, with all the communities, with all the ministries. How do we get all those different communities here at Emmanuel represented and well represented on the committee?
Well, quite frankly, 2 pastors were a huge help, okay? a huge help because, I mean, and I'll just say, Pastor Jose and Pastor Will, they know their venues and they know who operates well in those venues and those communities, if you will. And that was very helpful to me.
And then the council made the decision just last week. Then these names were brought to them and they approved them. And they are the ones that officially are moving this process forward.
They are. And I think the council will play a role, but I believe that it will be more of getting reports from the call committee so that we stay up on their progress and the things that they're doing. And so that the council is knowledgeable of where they are in this process.
Okay, Tom, you've been holding us in suspense here. Now's the big reveal, the moment that we've been waiting for. If you could then share with us the names of those who have been called to serve on this call committee.
Well, I can tell you that I'm very pleased and very proud to be able to do just that. First, we are only allowed one member of our council to be on the call committee.
Just one.
Just one. We're following the Synod guidelines on this whole thing. And so the council really wanted Sylvia Boynton to represent the council. Sylvia comes from a long past history of her family and Emmanuel Lutheran Church. And Sylvia knows a great deal about the church, but she's also very articulate. And I think she'll add to this council. And she's going to represent the traditional. Then next, we have Stacey Puchalla. And Stacey and her family are very involved in the Alive service. And Stacey was attractive because Stacey also brings a bit of a younger generation to this particular call committee. And that was important for us to do that.
And I think that reflects, again, your commitment of the council to have this call committee reflect one church, multiple communities, right?
Very important. So it was a focus for us. And then our third candidate is Mike Hanson. And I've seen Mike in various roles in the church, but he's been very involved with the academies, and he brings a wealth of experience to this call committee. And so I'm very pleased to have Mike Hanson be one of our members. Our fourth member is from ECC, and his name is Ruben Turan. And Ruben is not only involved with ECC, but he is also, what I understand, is heading up a steering committee for ECC. Wow, that's just great if we can have somebody like that representing the ECC community.
So he's really at the foundation. He's really deep in the leadership of the ECC, Pastor Jose's congregation.
Yeah, Pastor Jose helped me a lot with that. And then we have Jerry Kerr, and he represents traditional. And Jerry has had lots of different experiences throughout his membership at Emmanuel. He's been on various committees. He's been on boards. He's just very, very involved and active. And I think the thing that I liked so much about Jerry was when we asked him, it was like, absolutely, absolutely. And then our last is a person that I've seen active in a lot of different places, but this person is going to represent the park, and that's Rob Andrews. And Rob and his wife have really been involved with this, with so many different things. And they seem to be always wanting and willing to share their time and to share their efforts. And so Rob was, and I got to tell you, Will was very, very much pleased with Rob coming on the call committee.
So I know Rob and Marion are not only participants in the worship service out at the park, but in the feeding program on Wednesdays as well.
And they also let me know that they still come back to Morning Line Drive on occasion too. So I just feel like, we've got a great representative of the park because he's there a lot. And they're wonderful people to work with.
So Tom, that is an exciting list of members of our congregation who can represent the various communities, but to represent us as one church. Now, I know the committee will be working together with the whole church, with the council, but also with the synod. Isn't that correct?
Very much so. The synod has provided a lot of guidance and direction to us at this point. In other words, on how to go about getting a call committee together in this discernment process that I keep talking about. They have criteria that they shared with us. And it was really good. It was really helpful. So we are going to, I think, have a relationship with the synod that will be helpful to us as far as supporting our efforts. It will be our efforts. It will be our decision. But at the same time, their guidance, their direction, their support is meaningful.
And I believe one member of the synod office, Connie, will come down in September, right, for a commissioning service. Is that correct?
Right now, our plans, Connie Schmucker, come to our church, our Morning Line Drive church, and help with the commissioning service. And that will be sometime in September. We've got some dates out there, and I can hardly wait to share the date with you when I get it.
Okay. Tom, once again, this is good news. And many of us have been carrying this process in the council in prayer for many months now. And now we get to lift up a call committee. We know the names, so we can pray for the committee as a whole and for the individual members that they would indeed discern God's will and how we should move forward, what type of leadership we should have here at Emmanuel Lutheran Church. Tom, I want to thank you for the leadership of the council. And we look forward to having everyone learn about this process, not just through the Sunday Forum, but I know you'll be sending out e-blasts and letters, and you'll probably make announcements at church as well.
I would hope that everyone would be prayerfully behind our efforts with this call committee, because that's what we need right now. We've got the people, we know where we're going, but let's keep these people and this process in our prayers.
And our goal, of course, and our prayers are that this committee will help us bring a candidate in the springtime, so before the summer, to the council for consideration. Is that right?
I guess I'm just thinking ahead a little bit. I would really like to have this candidate in place by no later than the end of March.
There you go. Well, Tom, once again, thank you for your leadership. Thanks for joining us on the Sunday Forum and sharing this good news with us.
My pleasure.
Thanks for being with us this morning. Join us live after the worship service on Sunday for more discussions about the call committee. Thanks again. Bye-bye now.